Welcome assassins and assassinettes, if that is what you call lady assassins. In today's video I'm going to break down basically what a passive ability is. Now there may be new players in the game that don't know what the passive abilities are, or people who've been playing the game for a little while and just can't distinguish the difference between the passive and the normal skills. So I'm basically going to break that down and explain which, I'm not going to go through them all. As I said, I appreciate you watching me for 10 minutes. I don't expect you to sit here and watch me for half hour. So I'm going to go through a couple of them because some of these passive abilities are permanent abilities, some of them are triggered abilities, and obviously some of them only work in certain scenarios. So I'm just going to go through a couple of different abilities and let you know basically what the difference between a passive ability is and just your regular skills. So right, let's go into Gene. Where else? The reason this bloke is a tank and an absolute beast is because of his passive ability. Now, right, your passive ability is on your right hand side. They're the column in blue. Your skills are what you can activate in a match or in a mission. So, for example, some of them you can activate once and once only. Some of them you can activate every fight, and then obviously it goes on a cooldown for X amount of ticks, but then refreshes when you enter the next phase of combat with a new enemy. So yeah, the passive ability is what is within your hero. It's what kind of makes them unique, and you don't activate it. As I said, it just arises when a certain circumstance arises. So right, Gene, his dodge is what makes him absolutely epic. So assassin training allows healing to take place when evading attacks. So at the star level I have him on, when he dodges an attack, he gains 7% of his health back. Now, this is a triggered effect. Why? Because it only happens when he dodges. And this is what just makes him such a beast. Now, I have him just over 1k health. Just to round it up by numbers, obviously, I can't get him to a higher level without star leveling him up, like his health pool. But if you add 2k health, 7% of 2k is more than 7% of 1k health. So the higher his health pool is, the more regen you gain back from this. And obviously this scales as you go up in star level as well. So this is what makes him an absolute beast, and it's because of his passive ability. He's also got here where when near death strikes deadly precision, critical chances increase by 30% when his health is below 20%. So when he gets below 20%, if he eventually does, even if he's down there for a little bit, he will hit his critical chance. He's got 30% chance to hit a critical, which is always good fun. Right, let's go to Alviro because he's got some permanent passive abilities. So his first one is health and attack are permanently increased by 18% at the star level I have him at. So I have him at 3-star. So basically, to round up numbers again, if you have him on, if you've got a weapon that does 1k damage compared to a weapon that does 500 damage, 18% of that is more. So yeah, the more armor, it gives you a higher armor rating and attack rating. That 18% just increases that so much more. So it just makes him an extremely hard hitter, and just, yeah, makes him more and more of a tank. Obviously, at the star level I have him at as well, critical chances permanently increased by 8.5%. So he's going to crit more often than other heroes. And this is what makes him unique. And that is what the difference between a passive ability is. It just makes your hero so much more unique. Now, there are certain ones as you scale up. You can check them out I'll show you how to check them out so you know what you're kind of getting yourself into. So, for example, Louise here, not all heroes have a passive ability. Your legendaries do, your rares do, not rares, sorry, your epics do, and some rare heroes have them. Not all of them do, but some rare heroes do. So if you go to Louise's passive here, let me go into details. So for your first, from having him to a 1 to a 4-star, when facing numerous foes, enters a state of concentration, focus, avoiding attacks. So dodges increase by 10% when fighting multiple enemies. So when you've got an enemy either side of you, he's 10% going to dodge more often. When you get into a 4-star, this goes up to 25%. But when you get into a 5-star, he also gains his ability against a single enemy. So it basically just makes him 25% more elusive, you know, in any circumstance, so whether it's surrounded by multiple enemies or a single enemy. And this passive is what can make or break a, knowing when to use these passives is what can make and break a mission for you. So if you've got 3 heroes at very low health that are similar, similar classes, Louise is going to have, if RNG is working well for you, you're going to have a good 25% chance to dodge that attack, which is better than taking somebody in who's only got a 3% chance of dodging the attack. So that sometimes knowing what their passives are and going into the situation could help be the difference between 3-starring that piece of content and failing it. So just make sure you know what passives your heroes have got, because that could be the difference between success and failure. So make sure you know what your passives are for your hero, because some people probably go, oh, he's dodging a lot. I wonder why that is. Well, it's because his passive ability allows him to. And then you think, well, I just took another hero in, he didn't dodge once. Well, he hasn't got that passive ability to do that. So that is the difference. You've got to know what circumstances to take which hero in with a passive ability. There's so many different types of passive abilities. Some of them are quite unique to each character depending, for example, Bayek got a lovely little passive here. At the star level I have him at, provides an 11% chance to block an attack, negating all of its damage by 100%. So there's 11% chance that when you get attacked, you'll block it, take no damage. It just makes it more sustainable. As again, if you're at low health on all 3 of your heroes, I'd rather take somebody in who's got an 11% chance to block an attack and take no damage than somebody who's going to constantly take a pounding. So you've just got to know what passives are going to help you out at that specific time. And as I said, it could make or break a mission for you. So just bear that in mind. Give them a good old read up. As I said, I'm not going to go through every single ability for you because we'll be here all night and you probably just don't want to hear me ramble on about it for half hour. So yeah, so that was basically what this video was covering. I just wanted to explain the difference between a passive ability and explain why they're different to the skills that you can activate throughout the game. So I really hope you found this video interesting. I hope this cleared up some questions you may have had regarding why certain things were happening to certain characters. So if you did enjoy the video, give it a good old thumbs up. Give it a subscribe. Be amazing if you could. We're so close to 100 subscribers. It'd be amazing to hit that 100 before Christmas. And yeah, have a fantastic day. Look after yourselves and happy assassinating.